Hi and welcome to this week's Therapy Thursday podcast episode. So this week we're going to be talking about what to do when you have social anxiety and your only option is group therapy. And just so you know, this drives me as batty as I'm sure you're feeling right now. So don't forget to join me in the free 21-day happiness challenge where you receive daily mini tasks to rapidly transform how you're feeling. Now this round only runs until the end of June, so you'll definitely need to act fast and sign up using the link in the show notes. You're listening to How to Change Your Life One Step at a Time with me, Katie Woodland. Tune in every week so that you can use tried and tested tips, tricks and hacks to start living the life you want right now. So what's this big old obsession with group therapy? Well, unfortunately, the NHS is bursting at the seams, and so sometimes the only way to get you in front of a mental health professional is by sticking you in a room full of strangers who are also struggling. Now, while group therapy in theory can be effective, i.e. if everyone has anxiety, then they need the same techniques to overcome the anxiety. The thing is, this completely misses the point. We are all unique individuals, and just because two people have anxiety, it doesn't mean they're struggling in the same way. Some people have panic attacks, others don't. Some people become extremely obsessive about routines and order, others don't. It's the same with depression. Some people have zero motivation to get up in the morning. Others are okay with getting out of bed, but it seems as though their memory has pretty much shut up shop and gone on holiday. And this really matters. Increasing motivation and repairing someone's memory requires two different sets of skills. The same as reducing panic attacks and decreasing obsessive behaviours also requires using different techniques. What's worse, I know many group therapy sessions are not even diagnosis specific. I was talking to one lady who has anxiety, and she managed to take herself to one session, only to find herself sat next to someone struggling with bipolar disorder, another person struggling with OCD, another with schizophrenia, someone else with anxiety but completely different symptoms, and a final person who was in a state of severe depression. She felt that her needs were not being met, and the technique that they used that day didn't help her in any way, shape or form. She couldn't relate to anyone else in the room and just felt really uncomfortable. Now, is it surprising to hear that she never attended the other 5 sessions? Now, I believe if you had 6 people in a room, all struggling with similar symptoms, then yes, group therapy is a viable option. So maybe this is something which is simply a little fix that requires a little more planning. But what happens when you have social anxiety disorder and still the only help you're offered is group therapy? Long story short, you are not going to go. Now, let's put this into context with people who don't have social anxiety, and so that you can really understand why they're likely to just not turn up. So imagine if you were afraid of flying, and I mean absolutely terrified. Even seeing an aeroplane on TV brings on a full-blown panic attack, includes non-stop sweat, and you genuinely start believing you're going to die. Now, by the way, this is not me exaggerating. When things get really bad, this is how some people feel. Anyway, so the doctor says to you, okay, well, that's cool. We have this amazing treatment for you. In order to access the treatment, you need to fly to the centre. So if that was you in that surgery room, you'd definitely be staring at the GP and pretty sure your jaw would hit the floor. In essence, in order to get the treatment you need, you have to first cure yourself of your fear of flying without the treatment, and then you can have the treatment. Surely if you could just cure yourself, you would have already done so. And now, hopefully, you see how bonkers group therapy is for someone who has social anxiety disorder. Maybe we should just stop offering it. Now, I know that the problem is usually you can have group sessions in under a fortnight, and one-to-one can take up to 18 months depending on where you live. So what can you do between now and then? Now, personally, I would say get yourself on the one-to-one waiting list, because your anxiety will have developed out of something which needs uncovering and undoing, which you can't do on your own. While you're waiting, set yourself small goals every day which slowly reduces the impact of your social anxiety. For example, if the thought of going to the supermarket terrifies you, you can set incremental goals like this. So week 1, every day write out your shopping list and imagine yourself putting the items away in your cupboard when you get them. Week 2, every day write out your shopping list, go outside, sit in your car for 5 minutes, come back inside and imagine putting all your items away. Week 3, every day write your shopping list out, get in your car, turn on your car, go around the block, come back home and imagine putting your shopping items away. Week 4, write your shopping list out, get in your car, drive past the shops, head back home and imagine putting your shopping list away, and so on and so on. Now obviously, once a week you'll actually be able to put your shopping away, and this will help immensely. So tackling one part of your social anxiety at a time over the 18 months will mean that by the time your one-to-one comes round, you may have reduced your social anxiety, and this will enable you to open up more fully to the therapist in front of you and increase the likelihood that you will get to the bottom of what caused the anxiety in the first place. And remember, you don't have to do any of this alone. Grab a friend or a family member, explain what you're doing, and I'm sure there will be someone you know who is happy to help you move forward. Just remember to make sure you have the kettle on and have a few biscuits stacked up in your cupboard. So if you're not sure how to break your social anxiety difficulties down into small incremental steps, then please do use the link in the show notes to book a free therapy session with me as part of my Mission 2500. Now, the conversation happens via the phone, so there's no added stress about seeing me in person, getting on a bus, or being in a strange place. I'm wishing you all the best on your journey, and as always, if you have any questions or comments, please do post them below. Have a wonderful day, and I will be back here next week talking about why psychologists are not psychics. See you then.